This is the consequences when we chose the wrong direction. Oh my God. Yes. It is what it is. Make America great. Yeah, low prices.
What the hell did they think was gonna happen? Kick out all the workers from Florida and expect everything to be fine? They really thought Americans would jump off food stamps and start doing all the jobs immigrants used to do? Well, guess what? They were wrong. Thanks to these decisions, thanks to the president, and thanks to Republican leadership in states like Florida, the entire country is starting to see the truth. Without us, the economy doesn't move. It stalls. It cracks. It starts to fall apart. History is repeating itself. Once again, it's crystal clear. This country depends on immigrant labor. We do the jobs no one else wants. We hold it all up. And now, they're so desperate, they're talking about putting their own 14-year-old kids to work, overnight, for 12-hour shifts. Kids who only care about video games and hanging out with their friends, not working in kitchens or fields. They tried to replace us and it backfired. Fast. It's only been 2 months, and already they're scrambling. The truth is they won't have a choice soon. They'll have to start giving out work permits, because this country doesn't function without us. We are essential, we always have been, and now the whole world is finally seeing it.
Farmers across the country say they don't have enough workers to even grow or harvest crops. The president now saying he has a solution. John Bolts, the president of the Arizona Farm Bureau, told ABC 15 the farming industry is short hundreds of thousands of workers, and if something doesn't change soon, more and more farms across the country will have to shut down.
It's been a chronic work shortage. We don't have the folks to work on farms. It's causing farms to go out of business.
Bolts has owned Desert Premium Farms in Yuma for more than 16 years. He relies on the H-2A program to fill the workforce gap, a program that allows farmers to hire temporary foreign workers.
It's a lifeline. It's the only thing we have right now to keep agriculture working.
But many say it has major drawbacks.
It's a 9-month process. And then the workers that you get can only work for you temporarily and only for a couple of seasons. It's a big challenge the way the program is designed.
President Donald Trump is now working on a solution to address these concerns, which were underscored in recent weeks as ICE raids at work sites have caused immigrant workers to not show up to farms.
We're going to issue a form of a card or document, and the farmer is going to be responsible for these people. They're not going to have citizenship, but they'll be working, they'll be paying taxes.
Bolt says allowing undocumented immigrants currently in the country to work, along with modernizing the H-2A program, is desperately needed.
We need to design and build a simple, affordable, and viable seasonal and year-round program for agriculture.
So like the Florida farmers, Texas farmers, California farmers, Nebraska farmers, most of these farmers are MAGAs. Most of them have voted for Trump. And now their actions are backfiring because the man they voted for is deporting immigrants, the same people who have been working in their farms. As you saw it in the video at the beginning, crops are lowering. They are lowering in the farms because of the people who were supposed to harvest them were deported. They were deported by the same man these farmers voted for. Now, they're going to keep facing more other consequences of their actions. They're going to keep seeing more other consequences of their actions of voting for him. Let's watch more other videos and remember that this video is only for educational purposes and all the clips that were featured in this video, credits belong to original creators. So stick around and also tell me down there in the comment section, what do you think about these farmers? Do you think they deserve these consequences that they are facing with? Just tell me your own opinions down there in the comment section. This fruit is not going to be able to be harvested because it's too far gone.
That's because on day one of the harvest, about half of their 120-person workforce wasn't there.
Our harvest workforce is primarily immigrants. I would say the majority are from Mexico originally. They are skilled workers who come up every single year. A lot of people have a lot of fear based on their ethnicity, which is an unfortunate thing.
Chandler says the fear over ICE raids isn't just present at his farm, but across many farms like his. For him, it means an unprecedented loss.
So we are in a situation where we're going to have to leave probably
300 to 400 tons of fruit on the tree. It's going to be devastating.
He and his wife are even looking for second jobs to make up for the loss. But on top of those fears, Chandler's wife is from Mexico, and the knowledge that people who look like her and his children don't feel welcome hits close to home.
We've got regular people out here who are helping us out. They're not criminals, they're not bad people. They're just like you and I. They're just trying to make a living. They're, taking care of their families. And for them to be in this country and in fear, that doesn't feel very good.
Nobody feels safe when they hear the word ICE, even the documented people.
In the vast agricultural lands north of Los Angeles, California, fruits and vegetables are rotting at peak harvest time due to a sharp reduction in workforce. Farmers, field supervisors, and workers told Reuters that President Donald Trump's immigration crackdown, specifically raids by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, are frightening laborers, causing most of them to stop showing up. Some workers Reuters spoke to withheld their identities. One worker said, well, one gets up in the morning and you get up with fear because many of us can leave our house, and we probably won't come back. Greg Tesh is a farmer in Bakersfield.
We need the labor when we need the labor, or else we'll miss things. We'll fall behind. And the investment's already put in months, sometimes years ago.
Over a third of U.S. vegetables and over 3/4 of the country's fruits and nuts are grown in California, according to the California Department of Food and Agriculture. The state's farms and ranches generated nearly $60 billion in agricultural sales in 2023. Republican Douglas Holtz-Eakin, the former director of the Congressional Budget Office, said an estimated 80% of farm workers in the U.S. were foreign-born, with nearly half of them in the country without documentation. Losing them will cause price hikes for consumers, he said. Studies show that native-born workers tend not to fill the void left by immigrant workers who have moved on. Farm workers like Giovanni Lopez have noticed the trend.
The majority of Mexicans will work anywhere, and there are a lot of them. And the gringos said it's that they hardly work in construction, let alone in the fields. But Mexicans do work everywhere.
Trump conceded in a June 12th post on Truth Social that ICE raids on farm and hotel workers were, quote, taking very good long-time workers away from those sectors, with those jobs being almost impossible to replace, and adding, quote, changes are coming.
Oh, MAGA, you're in trouble. Apparently there's a shortage of workers on the farm. But don't worry, MAGA. Brooke Collins, who heads agriculture, says that she has a solution. Seems like Trump and Brooke Collins have put their heads together and come up with a solution to solve the problem on the farms losing workers. Let's watch the video and see what Brooke Collins has to say to solve this issue.
Score enough. There will be no amnesty. The mass deportations continue, but in a strategic way, and we move the workforce towards automation and 100% American participation, which again, with 34 million people, able-bodied adults on Medicaid, we should be able to do that fairly quickly. Thank you.
Did you hear that, MAGA? They're saying if you're able-bodied and on Medicaid, you are going to work in the fields. MAGA, this is where it hits you. You're going to work in the fields. And you're going to see what it's like for these undocumented immigrants to come to America and work a hard day's labor in the American fields. Get ready to pack up Mima and Pop-Pop and put them on a bus and send them to the fields, MAGA. That's what you voted for, and that's what you deserve. Tell me what you guys think about this in the comments. Have a day.
So my wife was having a conversation with a family member who happens to be married to a farmer, and the family member was talking about how they recently had lost a number of workers due to deportations and how that was going to affect them, that work on the farm wasn't going to get done, that they might not produce as much milk or as much grains as they normally would because they wouldn't have the workers to get this done. And once again, it shows that, one, Trump supporters, as these individuals are, don't care about the people. They care about only things when they affect themselves.
They only care when it's going to affect the money that they make, or in this case, that they're actually going to have to go out and do what farmers should be doing, which is working in their fields, working in their barns. They didn't care that the people are deported. They care that they might lose some money and that they're going to have to actually work for a little bit of time. They don't care about the people. And it's another one of those we told you so moments.
And why don't I hire Americans? The simple answer is we can't get the workers. No American ever calls. No American ever shows up. That's why we are so grateful for the guys that are willing to come and do the work here on the farm. We can't do this without them. And we can't do this with people in our local communities a lot of the time.
Family owned, over 4,000 acres of tomato farm across Florida and California. Yep. Sadly, his crops aren't looking too good. All those tomatoes rotting, you know. Nobody's there to pick the crops. And with Trump tariffs, well, they ain't got nothing left to do, y'all, but to mow that shit down. He gotta mow all that shit down. Yep. Ain't got nobody there to pick them goddamn crops. Do I feel bad? No, because that's what he voted for. He voted for Trump. A Trumper. All that shit wasted. All those goddamn tomatoes gone to garbage. They wasted. All because of that vote for Trump.
All these damn illegal aliens taking over American jobs, it ain't right because they're all criminals, you know. That's why we need a strong leader that'll put Americans first. That's why I voted for him, because he said he's going to deport all them illegal aliens, okay? Because I'm a proud American farmer. I don't need no illegal immigrants taking over my jobs. Ain't that right, Jose? Jose? Juan? Pedro? Where did y'all go? Hey, where did they go? They left. Why did they leave? They got work to do.
Because they were illegal, and you voted for the guy that wants to deport them. Not really the most stable working environment.
What? But I need their cheap labor to make my thin profit margins to make sense financially.
Well, you should have thought about that, because now you're going to have to hire Americans, and they're going to unionize and ask for higher wages and eat into those profit margins.
Wait, are you saying that I have to face the consequences of my own actions? Because we can't afford this. We're all going to be bankrupt in 2 quarters.
Funny how life works that way.
I hate to say this, but I'm going to be honest. In 2024, before November election, we had a man who was campaigning to become the President of the United States of America. This man was campaigning against Kamala Harris. During his campaigns, he was very honest. He said everything that he was planning to do out loud. Everybody listened. Yes. First of all, he said that he wanted to get rid of immigrants. He was totally against of immigration policy in America. He said it out loud. People listened. He said that he wanted to cut government spendings. He was very honest, and he said it out loud. People listened. He said that he wanted to get rid of some people's right in America. People listened and noted it. Now, November election comes, people voted for him. They voted for him, and after him becoming the president, he said, I'm a man of my word. I'm going to do what I said that I would do. And one of the things that he said that he would do was to deport immigrants. He started implementing whatever he said that he would do. He started deporting immigrants, Latinos, Africans, Asians. Yeah, ICE raids is now raiding people, deporting them, putting them in detention centers to be deported, either back into their countries or even in other countries. And after the beginning of these mass deportations policies, we started seeing people complaining. And most of those people who were complaining were the people who voted for the man who is now implementing the policies that he said that he would do before him being elected. Among those people who are complaining include these MAGA farmers. So these MAGA farmers literally voted for him, knowing that he was going to deport immigrants. And now that he is doing what he said, they're regretting, because their crops are rotting in their farms. Nobody's there to harvest those crops. Are we going to say that this is the consequences of voting against your interest? Or are we going to say that it's the consequences of being ignorant? Because I don't really understand how these farmers knew that these immigrants were the ones who were working in their farms and there was nobody there ready to repress those immigrants, and they went ahead and voted for the man who wanted to deport these immigrants. I don't really understand, guys. Please, if you've got any fact that can support their actions, please let me know down there in the comment section. The man said that he wanted to cut government spendings. And you know that some of the government spending was being given to those MAGAs. You know Medicaid? You know Medicare? The money that was being spent on those poor MAGAs was cut off by Trump administration, as he said that he wanted to cut government spending. Now, this is what they're gonna do. They said, since we have deported immigrants and they are no longer available to work in their farms, and we have also cut the government spending, we're no longer funding Medicaid, those poor MAGAs, those poor Americans who have been depending on Medicaid are gonna go and replace those deported immigrants. Now you understand how it works? So these poor MAGAs actually have been mocking these Latino workers who've been working in their farms. But since these Latinos were taken back to their beautiful countries, Mexico, Brazil, and more other countries, these MAGAs are gonna go and repress them and work in those harsh conditions. You know, the sun in Texas, how it's burned hard, especially in this summer. You know, the sun in Florida. Oh my God, it's gonna be very hard for these MAGAs. It's gonna be very hard. It's gonna be very hard. But probably this is gonna teach them a lesson. Because one of the things that I have seen is that people learn from their mistakes. Yeah, people do learn from their mistakes. Whenever you made a mistake and then you face the consequences of that same mistake you've made, it's gonna be a good time for you to learn. It's gonna be a good time for you to reflect on the mistake that you've made so that next time in the future, you won't make the same mistake again. Let's hope that these MAGA farmers, after now being burnt by that hard sun in Florida and Texas and Nebraska, they're gonna learn a lesson of not voting against their own interest again. We are having another election coming in 2028. Let's hope that these MAGA farmers won't make the same mistake again. And that was it for today, guys. If you have enjoyed watching this video, remember to tell me down in the comment section, what do you think? Do you think that these MAGA farmers are gonna learn a lesson? Do you think that these MAGA farmers won't vote against their own interest again? Drop your own opinions down there in the comment section. And that was Mr. TA signing off. Ciao.